Okay, good evening. This is the Town of Barnstable Waterways Committee meeting for April the 22nd, 2025. Committee members present for the Waterways Committee are Greg Egan, Gary Schramick, Jacob Angelo, and myself, Paul Everson. Present for the Town of Barnstable is the Harbor Master Brian Taylor, Deputy Harbor Master Jay Horn. And before we continue with the meeting, I must advise that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast on Channel 18 and in accordance with Mass General Law 30A, Section 20. I must inquire if anybody is recording this meeting, and if so, please make their presence known to the chair.
Mr. Everson, I just wanted to add that Polly Polinsky is here tonight from the Department of MEA. She's one of our administrative assistants.
Okay. We will add Polly to the list. Thank you. First order of business is to act on the minutes for the previous Waterways Committee meetings for February 25th and March 25th of this year, 2025. If the committee members have had a chance to review those, I will entertain a motion to accept them as written.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the minutes of February 25th, 2025 and March 25th, 2025 as presented.
Thank you, Greg. And the second?
This is Gary.
All right. Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that passes. We now have notices of intent. We have an applicant, Jamie N. Cody, trustee, Centerville Qualified Personal Residence Trust, 90 Short Beach Road in Centerville. The representative is John O'Day from Sullivan Engineering. Do we have Mr. O'Day present?
I believe Mr. O'Day couldn't make it tonight.
Okay. Jay, can you tell us what the project entails?
Yeah, there's no hazards to navigation here. They're just simply doing some bulkhead work and some stone work here. It's upriver of the Dan McCarthy landing. Not a lot of navigation there to begin with, but the Harbor Master Department doesn't have any concerns with this NOI.
Okay, so the project is proposed to replace existing timber bulkhead and stone revetment with new vinyl bulkhead, so not affecting the navigable water sheet. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Any input from committee members on this one? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept this.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay, Greg, thank you. Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Jacob, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Okay. And passes. Next up, we have 251 Green Dunes Drive in Hyannis, proposed project dock and float.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jose Picharo, manager with Green Seal Environmental, representing the applicant. Here with me is also the project attorney, David Wall. The dock was designed in full compliance with Chapter 704 for private docks and piers. The pier's dimensions are 4 feet wide by 54.6 feet long, measured from mean high water. It will have a gangway that measures 11.2 feet long to access a 200 square feet flood at the end. For navigation matters, we located 3 existing floods, the closest being at a distance of 202 feet from the end of the proposed dock. We also prepare a half a mile radius showing all the piers, docks, and waterways. The nearest ramp was identified at approximately 1,000 feet from the end of the dock, and the nearest private dock at approximately 1,500 feet. So we don't see any potential navigation issues here. With that, I'm going to give it back to you for any questions. So I don't know if David likes to add something.
No, I'll wait until there's some questions and get into it then.
Jay, would you blow that up and give us the specs on the dock again? And the gentleman was cutting in and out on my audio. I'm not sure if everybody
Yeah,
else.
I was having trouble hearing them as well. I can pull up the plans for you here so you can see the distance. I didn't get great plans, but this was the best picture that I got. You can kind of see this house right here, and when we go back to the GIS screen, you'll have a reference of where they're putting it. So 10 foot on the outside is going to be the main floating dock, and then the overall length, wasn't it? Can you tell me, Jose, was it 70 feet?
The measure from mean high water, which is the portion, it's 54.6 feet. That's the pier. Then it's going to have a gangway to access the flood, which is 11.2 feet. And the flood itself is going to be 10 foot wide.
Okay,
So
so
probably,
64, 74 feet in total.
sure.
That's correct. Roughly.
Yeah.
Jay,
How far away from this is from a mooring, Jay? It looks like there's some moorings in close proximity. I know it's tough to gauge with a map, but
Yeah, I located the nearest to the dock is 202 feet, and that's the nearest one. I located all three that can be seen from it. Everything else is thousands of feet away.
So this is Halls Creek, by the way, for the committee members. That wasn't addressed. in the
Yeah,
beginning.
could you show me from this zoomed out view exactly where it is?
This is the entrance to Halls Creek here.
No, I understand where we're looking at. I'm just saying I'm not sure
I
from
believe it's coming
where-
off of this, somewhere in here, correct, Jose?
No, a little bit more north.
Norm, yeah, on the other side of that bump out,
Exactly.
right about there, yep.
About there. Yep.
I mean,
Which for
74 feet is pretty
navigation purposes
substantial.
was placed there on purpose.
what kind of boat is going there?
At the moment, it's going to be a motorized dinghy, maybe a two-person, small craft.
Is there like any size or anything in mind?
He doesn't have a boat yet, but I mean the float I think would hold up to Jose, what's the depth there at the
At mean low water, you have 2.2 feet of water. And obviously, at mean high water, about 5.5, 6 feet.
I mean, this isn't conservation. I was just curious like if he had a boat or not,
No, he doesn't have one yet.
Yeah, cool.
okay, Jay, would you just pan a little bit more up on the waterway? Like just
I looked before, Mr. Chairman. There's no other docks in this area.
there's nothing further up, so this
Nothing to
would be
compare it to, yeah.
okay. All right, and just go back in again. Yeah, zoom right in if you would, close to where so the dock would be roughly where that white block is.
Yeah, you can see the 73.83. I mean, that's a rough estimate of the mean high water.
Okay. And
I mean, I can share my screen if you want. I have an exact overlay with an image that I can share.
Once you're in the breakout room, I don't know if I can make you a co-host. We're having issues with our town meetings, gentlemen, with Zoom bombers. So once we do the breakout room, it's hard for me to make you a co-host. I don't think there's a way to do it.
Okay.
Jay, as is usual concerns, if there are moorings affected by this, not owned by the applicant, we try to accommodate them. Is that the case on this? It doesn't, I see looks like a couple of moorings there, but I think the gentleman referred to them being a couple of 100 feet away.
That's 202 feet is the closest one. The other ones are closer to 250.
Okay, and you have that, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, they're located further to the, southeast of where this dock is going. I don't know of much navigation up in this area. I've never gone up that far. We go
Yeah.
into GIS, the moorings, that you can see here on the screen. And I think I did check, I believe that, the homeowner has one of the moorings in here. That might
Okay.
be another NOI.
Again, it was purposely, partially for waterways and other reasons that it was, placed north of this so we would avoid interfering with the moorings and other navigational issues of the neighbors.
Okay, thank you. Questions from any of the other committee members?
Yeah, this is Greg. I was just curious, is this a seasonal float
No.
structure?
No, this is a permanent structure.
Okay. Does it ice up in that area? I'm just curious relative to the structure. I don't see any problem personally with navigation up there. And is it the house that's got the circular driveway? Is that
Yes.
whose
Yeah.
dock it would be?
Yes.
Correct.
I-
Correct.
And I don't know about the ice. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other.
I was just curious if it was a seasonal.
My client doesn't think so. But I don't, and it's, with climate change, it's less and less. I know we had a little this year, but not much.
Thank you.
Not there. I'm just saying in general.
Okay, any other committee members with questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve this one.
I make the motion to approve as presented.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it. It's Gary.
All right, Gary, thank you. So we have Greg is a yes, Gary is a yes, Jacob,
Yes.
and myself is a yes. All right, that is approved. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Next up, 10-year comprehensive dredge and beach nourishment plan.
Yeah,
We were,
so
go ahead, Brian.
yeah, the town, the engineering firm that is putting together this project, both asked to defer this until next month, as well as the town engineer, if that's okay.
Sure. Okay,
Okay,
we'll
thank you.
defer that to next meeting. I guess we'll do the mooring appeals now. Jay, you have 11 on the list here. Do we have any more than that? Or is that the names we have? Is that accurate? The ones we're going to address right now.
So those are all the emails that I received before the agenda was posted. You heard Mr. Hale, who stopped in today, who was trying to appeal his mooring as well. But if it's all right with the committee, I did find his email. That's an error on our part. I would allow him to be heard tonight. We did have a lot of people who did not renew this year. The numbers were exceptionally high. Polly actually called everyone on the list who didn't renew, and we had about 40 people who missed the deadline that want to appeal it in total. But as of right now, these are the people that have written in and are on the agenda for tonight.
Okay, and are they all first time missing?
They are, yeah. I looked everyone up, and this is everyone's first offense that we have tonight. Yep.
Okay. And the harbor master has mentioned before that sometimes with renewals and the way things go out, maybe a response is in a spam box or junk mail or otherwise people aren't receiving that, but it's just incumbent upon folks who are renewing their moorings just to make sure that they have that paperwork in. And it's, as far as notification, like Jay just said, they contacted some other folks. We can't be contacting every mooring holder in the permit holder in the town of Barnstable to make sure you get it in. So why don't we, rather than go through these individually, if it's okay with the rest of the committee, since everybody has not missed prior to this, we could approve that these be reinstated in a group, knowing that they have some fees to pay and some back fees. Jay, why don't you detail what fees would be involved?
Yeah, it's very standard. It's the late fee because they didn't renew in the month of February, and then there's a $25 reinstatement fee.
Okay.
The only thing I will add is they have to make sure that their paperwork is in order before they come in and pay, whether it be their registration or their excise tax. There's usually a reason why the system flagged them for non-renewal, so they have to make sure that their documentation is in order before they either mail that check in or come down in person and pay.
Okay, since you are going to be handling this, would you rather address them individually right now or just do that block and then have them contact you?
You can do it as a group, and then they can just call in tomorrow or this week, and we'll take care of them.
Okay, committee members, are you okay with that? That we just approve this since nobody has missed the deadline prior to this? We'll approve this as a group that they can contact the harbor master's office and get reinstated.
I think that's I think it's a great idea, Paul. Assuming the harbor master's department has no concerns for any particular reason on any of these, I would make the motion to approve these mooring appeals number 1 through 11 as detailed on today's agenda.
Okay, thank you. And a second on that?
Second.
All right, Gary, thank you. All in favor? We have Greg, yes. Gary, yes. Jacob?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay.
Mr. Everson,
Thank you very much.
can you just remind them it's a one strike rule league, right? That's the old saying you guys always do.
Right, just to let anybody know that is on this list to contact the harbor master's office ASAP. And if for some reason you did not get notification or you didn't receive anything, just correct whatever the deficiency is and and I'm sure Jay will tell you when you call in to re-register, find out why if you have absolutely no idea why you didn't get it, you need to double check it once the deadline, before the deadline comes up, that it has been received. So all of those folks, number 1 through 11, are approved to be reinstated. Contact the harbor master's department, and he'll take it from there.
Mr. Everson, Jay had mentioned the other individual too. Just for the record, if we're going to include the other individual, we should include his name and do that separately because he's not listed here.
Okay, that was Mr. Hale.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Hale, are you still present with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, if you just heard what I had said about the other folks, you, sir, too, please contact the harbor master's department. You'll be reinstated and pay the fees and just try to find out why. If you don't know why you missed it, try to find out whether it's a wrong address or anything like that, and then you can get reinstated.
Well, when I came in today, the young lady I spoke to, she said, "Oh, I see you have AOL," and I said, "Yeah." She says, "We're having a big problem with that. They don't go into a spam file; they just disappear." So I don't think I'm not the only one with the issue with AOL. I think. She
Okay.
said it's a common issue.
Yep, contact them. They'll square you away.
Mr. Chairman, I would just to make sure it's covered, I would make a motion that Mr. Hale's mooring appeal was also approved.
Okay, Greg. And second?
I'll second
Gary?
that.
Okay, Jacob, thank you. All right, and we
Thank you.
are in. So Greg is yes, Gary,
Yeah.
yes, Jacob, yes, and myself. So Mr. Hale, you are reinstated. Just contact the Harbor Master's office.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up.
I have a question. Do we skip over the 10-year comprehensive plan or?
We're deferring it till next month.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I missed that part. Thank you.
Okay,
Now I gotta sign out, I think.
yes, why don't we take the next up, old business? We'll take that out of order. We'll take that at the end of at the meeting. That way we can try to get through the rest of this and then we can
Okay.
finish with that. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have under new business, Barnstable Marine commercial mooring.
How you doing, guys?
Okay, hold on. Jay, would you introduce this?
Sure. I've been working with Nate Van Duzer, who is one of the owners of Barnstable Marine, located right down the street here in Barnstable Harbor. What the Harbor Master's office would prefer that they do is take the individual mooring that they already have permitted to, I believe, is it your father, Nate?
Yeah, Chris Van Duzer, yep.
Yep, Chris's mooring. We're going to take that individual mooring. We're going to turn it into a commercial mooring permit. In order to do that, we just want to see proof of ownership of the business. And he just needs to understand that the usage for commercial mooring is that a vessel can't be on there for no more than 14 days. Nate, would you like to speak to, why you could use this for your business?
Yeah, it'd be a great thing to have, just to offer if a bigger boat comes over and needs a spot during the summer, busy time, we don't have a space. It'd be nice to just, be able to put our mooring barge out there. If we're in between tides, launching moorings, in the fall and the spring. Just another tool and, that we'd like to, apply for.
How big of a mooring is this?
We probably like a 500 or 600 pound mushroom.
Okay.
Nate, could you just speak a little bit to what Barnstable Marine Service actually is too, please?
Say that again, Brian.
Can you just speak to what Barnstable Marine Service is and what the facility and the services that you have at the facility?
Yeah, in business, I'm fourth generation, almost just over 70 years. We do everything full service, boatyard, engines, racks, dockage, fuel, gas. We service a majority of the moorings in Barnstable Harbor. Yeah, full service boatyard.
Okay, thank you. And are there other commercial moorings that Barnstable Marine has presently?
No, sir, this will be their first one.
Okay. All right, and for the Harbor Master, any comments on this?
We like the fact that it's an individual mooring going to a commercial. We're not cutting in front of anyone on the wait list. With that being said, every mooring field is different. Barnstable Harbor East, not a desirable mooring field. I have a very hard time offering moorings there, growing that mooring field. So I think it's a good area for a mooring like this to exist.
Okay. Comments from other committee members?
I think it's a good idea.
Jay, I just have one question. Is there a way to keep my father's mooring, in his name and add a commercial mooring for Barnstable Marine? Or do we have to get rid of one or the other?
The Harbor Master's office would prefer it goes from an individual to a commercial.
Yeah.
If you want to apply for just a straight commercial, that'd be a decision for the Waterways Committee. And again, we look at those on an individual basis. that's not a decision that I can make myself.
The area where he's looking at, is that open or is that a closed?
It's an open wait list, but it is it's an established wait list. But it's not a mooring field that we have lotteries for, so any individual can add their names. Just let me give a minute here for my GIS to catch up. It's directly across from the Millway mooring field, which the Millway is the only open mooring field in the town. For those of you who don't know, it's the only mooring field that Barnstable has without a wait list. The catch is you can only handle vessels up to 21 feet. Barnstable Harbor East is the mooring field located across the channel from Millway, right at the exit of Barnstable Harbor Marina, Barnstable Marine, where Nate is. And that's the mooring field that I have a lot of difficulty offering moorings, and people don't have access to that. It's deeper water and they got to get across the channel. I apologize for my GIS, but it's lagging. So again, if you wanted to go straight to commercial, I don't know, Brian, are you prepared to be able to do that tonight, or is that a discussion you want to have internally? Been a little bit of debate about the commercial moorings right now, guys.
Obviously they're welcome to apply for a commercial mooring permit. I think with this agenda item, we were going from an individual to a commercial. It doesn't mean that we couldn't take that route. I think realistically, the commercial mooring permit, also called the commercial yard mooring permit, that's actually what it is for this reason, for a boat yard like this, to get a commercial mooring. So if they're doing work on their moorings or boats or servicing boats, they can utilize a mooring. So realistically, this fits the bill in my eyes for that. And open to discussion from Waterways. I like the fact that we're getting rid of an individual mooring and we're putting a commercial mooring in place, because we're not skipping anyone on the wait list, because we do have a wait list here. What I would tell you is to have Chris add his name to the wait list, so potentially through the offering system, he could be offered a mooring in the future. But if that was something that you wish to do, we could certainly come back to the table here next Waterways and have a discussion on it. But I do like the fact that we're repurposing an existing mooring and not permitting two different spots, where if we had a different spot, we should be permitting to someone on the wait list.
I do want to add here, guys, there's two separate moorings fields here. I don't know why. It's just how I inherited the program. Barnstable Harbor, Maine, don't quote me. I think there's 3 people on that wait list. There's like 3 or 4. Nobody has taken a mooring in the 4 years that I've been mooring officer there. If Nate put his name on the Barnstable Harbor, Maine wait list, I could offer him a mooring tomorrow. It's a giant field, a lot of shoaling up in here, but there's a lot of deep water right here at the entrance of the channel. And that literally he could have a mooring this year just by placing his name on the list. Barnstable Harbor Maine East has about 30 people on the wait list on average. And I've been through mostly all of them every year, and I have a very tough time offering moorings there. You can see the size of that mooring field compared to the moorings that are in it. So again, in this specific location where he's asking to put it, I would support that, just because there's hardly any demand for an area like this.
Okay, can you show us where the mooring is that is being transferred?
So Van Duzer, just let me give me a second, Mr. Everson. Okay, so Chris has BHE 30, which is in the Barnstable Harbor Maine East mooring field. So that's the current location of that mooring.
Okay, can you bring that screen back up with the,
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir. The breakout room makes it very difficult for me to switch back and forth. It's not an ideal system. Can you guys
Yeah,
see
right.
it now?
okay, so
So again,
That's-
there's no rhyme to the reason here, gentlemen. It's called BHE, which is technically Barnstable Harbor East. It's actually located in Barnstable Harbor, Maine. There are several moorings out there that are like that. The designation don't match the actual area that they're in. I don't know why this is two mooring fields. It kind of should just be one big one, but that's neither now for this meeting.
I bet the shoals had changed, and at one point that was just an entirely deep spot, is what I would, assume. I mean, now it's different,
okay, and for Mr. Van Duzer, another mooring permit would be for what size boat?
It would be for, maybe our mooring barge. It'd be probably a 600-pound mooring, so be plenty big for, for something that can fit in that area, depth wise.
Okay. So Jay, you,
There might have been a little confusion, Jay. I don't know. Ideally I'd like to keep Chris, my father's mooring separate, and then I was really just trying to apply for a commercial mooring for the business.
Yeah. And again, Nate, we can do that very easily. If you just want to throw your name on that Barnstable Harbor main list,
Okay.
I can offer you that new mooring. If the committee approves that new mooring to be a commercial mooring, we can just move forward.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be ideal.
That's kind of the mooring field you're already in already.
Yeah, definitely closer to in between Maine and East. So
Yeah, and I literally have no movement on that. I was gonna marry the two together at one point. It's kind of on my list of things to do. I wanted to present that to the committee and just make this one big mooring field, but
yeah,
I think right now that might be the easiest solution. If you put your name on the wait list, I can offer you that spot. And if the committee approves it, we can make that a commercial mooring.
yeah, that'd be great.
okay, so would, are we gonna take this as two different things then? Why don't we? Because it's right now, they're asking to transfer a private mooring to a commercial. You said that they are owners of the company, and that's the intended use for a shorefront, waterfront, boatyard. So let's keep those things separate. We'll vote on the first one. All in favor, or I'll entertain a motion for a transfer, as proposed.
It's not clear what we're voting on. I'm sorry, maybe
I think that what it sounds like is that Nate could just go apply to get exactly what he wants through the town, and we don't even need to really vote on anything.
No,
that-
that's
No.
incorrect. So Nate could apply to get on the wait list to get offered another individual mooring permit. Right now, what we're voting on is taking the individual mooring permit and making it a commercial mooring permit.
Yeah, but it seems
what if
like
we
he doesn't. Nate doesn't want to. It seems like Nate
Okay.
wants to keep his father's mooring in his name and then apply for a commercial mooring for his business.
I think the chairman's got
But
it
if he
right.
wants to do that, wouldn't he just?
Okay, hold on, Jacob. Jay, go ahead.
Again, for the purposes of tonight's meeting, Nate, I think the thing to do is make this mooring the commercial mooring, and then just have your dad or yourself put your name on the list for Barnstable Harbor East, and I'll permit that as the individual. I think that might be the cleanest way to do this right now.
Yeah, whatever you guys think. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to keep, my father's mooring and then just add a commercial mooring for the business. That's
Yeah,
all.
so if you'll have two moorings in the end, one will be individual. If Chris wants to apply for that, he can. If you want to apply for it, you can too. Like I said, I have no movement in this mooring field, so anyone who's watching the meeting and wants a mooring out there, put your name on the list.
Mr. Chairman, since this is a commercial yard operation, and been here for a long time, I make the motion to approve transferring this mooring, private mooring of Mr. Van Duzer's, who's also has ownership interest in the boatyard, to change the classification to commercial.
Okay, thank you, Greg. And do I have a second on that?
Yep, I'll second it.
Okay, Greg and Gary, thank you. So Greg in favor, Gary in favor, Jacob,
Aye.
and myself. Okay. So that is approved, and Mr. Van Duzer just will get in touch with Deputy Harbor Master Horn about applying to be on the wait list and then advance to obtain another mooring.
Yep, I understood. I appreciate the time, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thanks, Jay. Talk soon.
Next up is Anchor and Buoy Marine, individual to commercial. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, so Anchor and Buoy Marine is owned by LJ Gallagher. We did some looking into the system. He does have commercial moorings right now for his business. Specifically, what he's here for tonight is a couple years ago, he was offered a mooring in Fish Hills. He was on the wait list. He waited his turn. His name came up. He applied for that mooring in Fish Hills, and he was offered that. It's an individual mooring right now, and he expressed the interest to me to turn, again, just like Nate at Barnstable Marine, to turn that individual mooring into a commercial mooring permit.
Okay. And again, a waterfront operation similar to Barnstable Marine. Why don't we hear from Mr. Gallagher?
Yeah, so I'm similar. Mainly moorings, though. That's really our focus. So this would mainly be used for customers' moorings or customers' boats if we're doing mooring repairs or something's happening like that. Also to temporarily put our mooring barge, seasonally when we're moving a lot of equipment in and out. So just mainly for that use, a little more protected and closer to my shop, being in Fish Hills, versus our other moorings that are in Hyannisport and Lewis Bay. So I just felt like it could be a better use for the mooring for me personally and business wise as well.
And Mr. Gallagher, do you have a brick and mortar location in Hyannis?
Yeah, so we're right in Hyannis Harbor, right on Pleasant Street, so all the way in the inner harbor, kind of right next to the Cape Cod Maritime Museum is where our brick and mortar location is. So we have a dock there. So this gives us kind of a close access point, like I said, for whether it's our work boats or working on a customer's boat or customer's mooring.
Okay. Is that the location of the old Bradbury Marine?
Yeah, exactly. So it is the Bradbury Marine. I guess I think my father bought it from the Bradburys in '94, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Harbor Masters Department have an opinion on this?
Again, I like the fact that it's individual going to a commercial. We're not cutting in front of anybody on the wait list. The individual has proven to run a legitimate business in the town. He already has commercial moorings. He's using them properly. And you guys know I go out there and check these mooring fields for compliancy. I've never had an issue with this mooring servicer before, so I would support this. Just bringing up the GIS so people understand the area that we're talking about here. So just give me a second. For those of you who don't know the Fish Hills mooring field, it's a kind of an oddball in the Hyannis area. But LJ, you're somewhere in here, right?
Yep.
In the
Yep,
inner
right in the
harbor.
corner.
Yep. And then Fish Hills is the first mooring field that you come out of when you're leaving the channel. It's on the right-hand side there. It's a small mooring field. We do have some turnover in there, but again, Mr. Gallagher was on the list. He waited. He got that mooring. It's classified as an individual right now, and I would support turning that into a commercial.
Okay, thank you. Any other input from committee members? And if not, I'll entertain a motion to accept this one as well.
Guess I'm on a streak here. I make a motion to approve this request.
All right, Greg, thank you. Do I have a second?
Yep, second.
All right, Gary, thank you. Greg, yes. Gary, yes. Jacob,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay, that is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up,
Okay.
okay, the discussion, hang on.
I'll go back to the agenda, sir. Sorry.
We want to do that discussion on the town's local comprehensive plan, or is that, hold on.
Yeah, I think we should do the correspondence and then we can wrap it up with the old business and Jacob Angela. I think that might make the most sense.
Yeah, but that's under the discussion of the town's local comprehensive plan.
Correct, regarding the references to marine water quality.
Yeah,
treatment.
right.
True.
Who do we have representing that?
That was the correspondence that you got from Vice President Chris
Okay.
Clark.
Right. Are you able to bring that up, Jay?
I believe it was emailed to you. I wasn't in the office for the majority of the afternoon, so I apologize on that. Brian, do you have that?
I have it somewhere. It's a very large document.
It was sent out either today or yesterday.
That's right. I can give you the website, Jay, and right now, you can bring up the website. I think she was just wanted to make sure that the Shellfish Committee, as well as the Waterways Committee, was aware, and to voice your comments, because some of the items on here were marine related, water quality, shellfish, and aquaculture. But I'll send you right now, Jay, the email, which has the website.
Right, is that the Barnstable LCP?
That's correct.
Okay.
Which is the Barnstable Local Comprehensive Plan. And so I think it was just correspondence in regards to she'd like the Waterways Committee to review it, as well as any member of the public, and provide any comments that you have regarding the local comprehensive plan. But Jay, in that email, if you scroll down, you can actually bring up the website, which is barnstablelcp.com.
Yep.
And comments regarding this matter in regards to the local comprehensive plan are due. A public comment is open through Sunday, May 11th, 2025.
Right. And I see that there's a meeting Monday, May 5th and 6th at the Oswald Library, which is also accessible by Zoom for members if you want to look at it there. And then May 8th at the Barnstable High School. That is there too. But
Mr. Chairman, this is Greg. It's very extensive. I've put public comment in, but personally, I think I would hope that the Waterways Committee could put in a public comment relative to that. I don't have any specific thing, but putting emphasis on the centrality of water dependent uses being maintained, and in fact enhanced. I think it would be good if we went on record. It is just voluminous amount of perspectives and information in there. And I think we should remind people how important the waterways are for all current and historic reasons, and they shouldn't be minimized or just assumed that waterfront interests are protected. It would be great if we went on record. That's just my opinion.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Greg. So the comment period ends on May 11th. Is that correct?
That's correct. Sunday, May 11th.
Okay. Do we want to, as committee members, we want to have a quick meeting on, we get a chance to review this and a quick discussion on it on, let's say, May the 6th? If everybody wants to do that, give us time to individually download it, look at it. We can have a quick meeting and discuss that and vote or make a resolution as a group. What's everybody's feeling on that?
I'm just looking at the tides that day, the 6th. Yeah, and we're gonna do like a 6 or 7 o'clock meeting, you're saying?
Yeah, 7 o'clock meeting.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that.
It would be a relatively quick meeting, I would think, if everybody has a chance. Greg, would you be able to make that?
Yes.
Okay. And Gary?
Yes.
All right. And for the Harbor Masters Department, no problem doing that.
No problem at all. We can set it up for you. What would the date? May 6th at 7 o'clock?
May 6th at 7. Yep.
May 6th at 7. All right, and we'll put it in as a special meeting and then Barnstable Local Comprehensive Plan.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right, we'll put it on the town's waterways calendar. May
Okay,
6th,
great.
7 o'clock.
Thank you.
I think though you need to take a vote to hold that, Paul.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to go back to the agenda. We'll do a vote for that. All in favor of a meeting on May the 6th, 7 p.m.? Greg?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Jacob?
Yes.
And myself, yes. And if we could just let Todd know, that would be great. Okay.
Sorry, I'm late signing in.
Hey,
Todd
Todd.
joined.
You guys have me okay? I'm traveling right now, so I'm only on my cell phone.
Yeah, we have you, Todd. We're going to do a quick meeting on May the 6th at 7 p.m. to discuss the local comprehensive plan. It's on the town's website. If between now and then you can look at it, it's a large document, what we've been told. So if you can read through that, and we've just made a motion that the Waterways Committee will meet on that night. It should be a fairly quick meeting, but speak as a unit, as a group, with that. If that works for you, May 6th, 7 p.m.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you. And let the record know that, note that, committee member Todd Willantis has joined us now. Next, under correspondence, we have All Cape Boat Rental Commercial Mooring. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, Mr. Jake Dewey contacted the Harbor Master Department, wrote a letter requesting a commercial mooring. Basically, All Cape Boat Rentals is a locally owned and operated business established in 2016. We provide recreational motorboating options for local and visitors, primarily from Hyannis Harbor. Our fleet of 24 boats consists of Boston Whalers, size 17 to 22 feet, pontoon boats, regular center console fishing boats. This request would be for the purposes of alleviating and lessening some of the need to regularly launch and haul boats at the Gary Brown boat ramp. The mooring would comply with current regulations and be used for temporarily storing and rotating of boats owned and operated by All Cape Boat Rental Incorporated. Boats would range from 17 to 26 feet. I would request a permit in any of the three following fields below: Fish Hills, Hyannisport, Lewis Bay. I look forward to your consideration regarding this request. Harbor Master Department needs to have some internal conversation about this. So we didn't put it on the agenda tonight for new business, but I'll leave it up to the committee if they want to discuss this.
Okay, thanks. The areas that they're asking for, are those all closed?
So no, they're all open wait list. The three areas that he referred to: Hyannisport, Lewis Bay, and Fish Hills. Unfortunately, Hyannisport and Lewis Bay have the highest number of individuals currently on a wait list right now. They both average around 200. They've averaged around 200 since I've been in the office. Fish Hills would be exceptionally hard. We had a lottery for that area a couple of years ago. I added 15 or 25 names by memory, and not a lot of moorings become available in that area. So that would be a tough ask. But again, we're trying to do some research right now on when we first permitted these moorings and what the use was for. They're called commercial yard moorings. Areas like Catuit, Crosby Yacht Yard, Oyster Harbors, Marine. Those are some of the first individuals to get these moorings and use them for those yard applications. So we just need to look at this a little bit internally before we can move forward with that.
Okay. We can certainly defer that to the next meeting after you get to look at it. But what I had meant by being closed, that if this were to be granted, we would be displacing somebody on a wait list.
That is correct. Yeah, all these areas have an established wait list. When you say closed, I'm sorry, in my eyes, some of our wait lists are closed, which means you can't add your name to them, and some of them are open, which means anyone can add their name at any point. So that's the difference in mooring officer language between closed and open.
Okay. All right, so we can, on your recommendation, we'll defer that to next month and let you look into that. Sorry, if you can bring
Back to the agenda area.
yeah, if you can bring that agenda back up again. I just lost it again.
Yeah, I apologize, Mr. Chairman.
No, that's okay.
The breakout room is very painful.
There it is. Okay. Harbor Master report.
Let's go back to old business with Mr. Dewey. Or excuse me, Mr. Angelo.
Okay, we'll do that then. So Jacob, you'll have to sign out.
Yeah, I just pressed leave room.
Correct.
You can leave the breakout room and you can remain in, and I'll let you back in. All set.
Okay, Jay or Brian, take this.
Brian, did you receive, we officially received the two applications, correct?
So yesterday, we officially received two applications for Wiano and Hyannisport. To be honest with you, I haven't even had a chance to review the two applications. I want to say off the top of my head, he's probably requesting a 5-year renewal. He did get a 1-year renewal, which was supported by Waterways and Town Council, and he is looking to re-permit both these fish weirs in the same location. But I just got the applications yesterday. I'll need a little bit of time to review them before I can comment on it.
Okay.
Now, when we approved this originally, didn't we talk about 1-year renewals or maybe a 3-year renewal just so we could get a sense of the safety aspect of all this?
I believe it was a 1 year. We took a look at it for 1 year, and that was what was sent to Town Council.
So isn't this I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't this a little premature that we're looking at the renewal right now?
It's early, but you remember it needs to go through Waterways, the applications, then our office as well. Then it has to go to Town Council. It has to get a first and second read at Town Council. So although it sounds early, I think it's important for us to, have the discussion, talk about the applicant, talk about the applications and the applicant, see how it went last year, and then move forward. If I remember correctly, it was the day after Labor Day.
Yeah.
And so it takes a little bit. I would say it is a little premature. However, there's some work that needs to be done. There's obviously money that needs to be invested in order to maintain these type of weirs. And so I'm sure that Mr. Angelo is moving ahead with it to get an answer one way or the other.
May I jump in?
Yes, go ahead.
David Lawler on behalf of Jake Angelo. Just for the purposes of history here, it was approved last year by this board on a 1-year basis, and it did go in, and my understanding is off of Miano, it did not go in Hyannis. However, and there were no issues whatsoever, with the understanding that they wanted to check to see what would happen with the fall, and again, the information and Hyannisport is not available. But the new developments really being is that Mr. Angelo has the opportunity to invest in this business. So the people that presently have it, I believe, are retiring. We're very anxious to preserve this way of fishing. It's really, it goes back to hundreds and hundreds of years with indigenous Americans fishing this particular area and this particular method. The matters were discussed last year at great length about where it would be located and where the location of the fishing weir in Hyannisport was put purposely in a very non-navigable area. There's some rocks there. It's very difficult to get in, and there's not. Obviously you can get in there. We're getting our boats in there, but it's purposely set up, set apart so as to avoid navigation. If Mr. Angelo is able to get the 5-year permit, he then can justify the investment in purchasing the equipment, and it's an important situation. Initially, this board had approved it for I believe it was like 8 days or 10 days or so. There was a specific date after Labor Day. That was reduced by the town council, who seemed to be very in favor of this, did the 1 year. We are asking that you do the 5-year. The application is essentially not changed from what this board reviewed. But what has the economic opportunity and the possibility that this whole fishing way of life could terminate, because for him to be able to finance and to buy this equipment, he needs that 5-year period. And I would keep in mind that if there is a problem, the harbor master and the
Waterway commissions and the town always has the ability to step in on an emergency basis and shut something down if there's an issue whatsoever. The fishing weirs have been in these locations for decades, but obviously the spring and admittedly the fall, the water's warmer, and it does get more activity. But we strongly recommend that the Waterway Commission approve this. I will say, at the town council hearing last year, there was virtually no issues except for praise of the project. They respected the Waterways Commissions with respect to the 1 year because that's what you had recommended, and we would ask that you approve this on a 5-year basis.
Okay, thank you.
I just have a question, Mr. Everson.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Lawler, you just indicated that the original applicant, which was Nantucket Fish Weirs, was thinking about getting out of the business, right? And
I don't know who the parties are, but I think that might be the case.
yeah, and just on a quick glance, it looks like Mr. Angelo is still requesting the same dates, which was from, basically Labor Day to
Day after Labor Day, yeah, to the 1st of November, I think.
to the 1st of November. Is there any consideration of having a conversation with the current fishware, which I think they're good until 2026. Don't quote me on that. I know there is an existing fishware permit in the same location as Mr. Angelo's. Has there been any consideration about having a conversation with the existing applicant to see if they're interested in giving up their spring time fishware and Mr. Angelo will take that over before proceeding with a fall venture like this, which is, after Labor Day going into November? The conversation, the reason why I'm asking is because obviously, as we know, the shoulder seasons are getting a little longer. Navigation occurs more frequently in the September months than it would in the spring months. Just the nature of the
I
beast.
think ultimately he'd be looking to do both. I mean,
Okay.
this is, and I understand. I mean, there's always going to be competing factors between issues. However, navigation really started on Cape Cod to fish. Okay, it's called Cape Cod for a reason, and our entire history, if you go back and you look at and the sailing boats that people sail in Wiano, the cats, those were fishing boats. Okay, and they've turned into luxury sailing boats. This is what the navigation is for. It feeds the people. It has an historic basis in it, and this is the roots of Cape Cod. And I applaud Jake, for the fact that he's dedicated, but he's also dedicated to the history and preserving the way of life that's been around for a long time. And if you look where it's located, with respect to the yacht clubs and things of that nature, it's after Labor Day, so the kids are back in school, and this is our heritage, and this is a way to not only fish, but it's one of the most environmentally sensitive fishing methods there is because for the most part, the fish are alive. If they're a bycatch, they're released. And it also fishes multiple species, which is good for the environment. It's a win across the board. Every single application has a wart or two. Okay, and these are minor. The possibility of these weir nets being hit by a boat. It's not zero, of course not. But they're lit. They're known to be there. They've been there for a long time, and it is on the off season, and we suggest that a 5-year permit is appropriate.
Okay, Mr. Everson, just before we move along, I just wanted to make sure because if we were to put the application on the agenda for next month, I'd certainly want to give the public time to know that the applications are going to be at Waterways so they can comment if needed. And then the Waterways Committee can obviously hear it. I just wanted to make sure that if the previous fishware applicant was going to back out, that we weren't doing, 4 applications. We were just doing one, even if it was the spring and the fall.
I'll try to coordinate that, Mr. Taylor. I'll try to find that out. I mean,
just a question. What do you?
No, that's only the spring though? That's not the fall, the present one, right?
That's correct. Just a question. I just wanted to make sure so we didn't have to go through it again. Basically we were covering the application as it was submitted. So just a question. I think that at this time I would request Waterways
And when does that application expire, the one for the spring?
That's a good question. I can get back to you on that,
Because
Mr.
if it is
Lawler.
the case, I mean, we might be able to do a transfer too. I mean, on that one, if what I'm saying, if what I'm saying is true, if they're not interested in doing that, we could look into that.
Yep. I can certainly look into that. I want to say off the top of my head it was 2026, but don't quote me on that. I can certainly email you and Jacob when it expires. It was heard as public knowledge as well.
2026 is next week.
So I just wanted to make sure I crossed that bridge, but we can certainly move forward if the Waterways would like with the applications as submitted. I did get them yesterday. I would like them to be posted to the next Waterways Committee agenda. Obviously, the chairman makes that decision, and they can have a discussion moving forward.
Okay, well, I'm fine with that. Just look into those couple of matters with that, and we'll just continue it to as is to next month.
What's it? Just so I know I'm here. What's the date of the next meeting? Do you know?
May 20th.
I just want to make sure I don't have a conflict.
Yeah, I have the dates in front of me, May 20th, 2025, and I just want to remind everyone we're going back to 7 p.m.
And we'll be here May 6th as well, based on the special meeting. But
Right.
that will be just for the local comprehensive plan, 7
Correct.
p.m.
Okay, it's May 20th. I'll have to talk to my client, but I am unavailable that evening.
Okay.
I'll have to talk to my client about how to handle that. I'll get back to you through back channels in that regard.
Okay,
Understood.
thank you.
I'm on the COM board, and that's our annual district meeting, so I can't be there.
Okay.
All right, Harbor Master report, and we can let,
Good night, everybody.
thank you. We'll let Jacob back in.
Yeah, let me jump out and try to get him back in. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay, I had to step away for a second. I have a screen that says choose a different breakout room. What's that about?
I think Brian was just trying to let Mr. Angelo back in, which he's here now. So
Okay,
if you're okay, we can go into the report and wrap the meeting up.
so you have Jacob back in?
Yes.
Yeah, am I back? Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. Harbor Master report.
Yes, sir. Jay Horn, Deputy Harbor Master. Just want to let the public know again, mooring appeals. If you did not renew your mooring, if you contacted the office or if we contacted you initially, please write in. You have to write an official email in order to get on the agenda so we can get those moorings renewed. We'll have to place you on next month's meeting so we can do those appeals. We are still short-staffed, so I'm asking for patience for our mooring permit holders. We're just behind on getting the stickers out this year, but you're paid if you paid, and you're in there. The sticker will be coming out in the mail. As you know, our longtime assistant Pam Swider finally made it to Hawaii. Her replacement's coming in this week, and we'll be back to full staff. We also hired an assistant harbor master. Not a new position. We're just filling the last gentleman who was here. He's going to be starting in the beginning of May. So we'll kind of be back to a full staff at that point, and we're excited for that. We are getting ready for the ATONs right now. We got everything prepped at all the chains, so you're going to be seeing those pop up in the next couple of weeks. Barnstable Harbor has already been done. We're focusing on doing Barnstable Harbor first from now on because of the shell fishermen and all the commercial traffic we have there. So it's important for me to get those out early so they don't have any issues with navigation. And then finally, the marinas are opening up May 1st. So we have all the docks in Barnstable Harbor. We had dock day this month, getting all the electrical and the water turned on, just getting ready for the season.
Great. Thank you, Jay. Anything else from any of the members? If not, we'll be meeting again on the 6th at 7 p.m. To discuss the local comprehensive plan and come up with some sort of a endorsement or ideas that we find as the Waterways Committee that are pertinent that should be addressed by this plan. So if there's nothing else from anybody, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thanks, Todd.
Second.
Thank you, Greg. So we'll see everybody 7 p.m. on the 6th and the following May 20th, again, 7 p.m. We're no longer doing the 6 o'clock meetings. They're now moved back up to 7. Thanks, everybody.